She wanted to go back inside. So surprised he invited her out, she hesitated with confusion. She questioned and balked, but she went with shaky breath and courage. Into the light of attention, of words of promise and affection, towards yearning of connection, leaving behind her self imposed cage. Her cage was never locked, for it was never intended to stop her flight, just provide a barrier to those who could not fathom her worth. Her cage was reinforced with self love and power and peace from God. It let her be a part of the world but separate. It allowed room for her wings to strengthen during her struggles and the ups and downs of life. Her cage was a safe haven to grow, to discover and explore her faults as she moved around. It sheltered her, not just from rain, but from pain. But sometimes she yearned to be seen and heard in a different way, by someone who wanted to really see her and wanted to hear what she had to say. And to her delight, he did and urged her to shine. So he made it safe to feel again and provided a buffer when her voice, not the one she used every day, but the one she laid to rest with her youth, awkwardly sounded out words she believed were no longer for her to use. And inside her unfurled a flame, bright and hot with passion that ignited her talents, which she laid foundation to, but neglected to nurture as she fielded chores of life, career, and responsibility. His thriving energy enticed her passion to speak again and dream again, to create again and write again, to stand fully in the sun and dare say, even love again. She delighted in getting to know herself again. She began to move with a little more sass, leaning into discomfort, but embracing her inner sensual, confident woman for herself, along with her desire to show up fully for him. But as she moved about more openly, she was not prepared, for it had been too long, and processing simple emotions became complex. Assuaged by insecurities that she could not voice, she created a fantasy with him that was not her reality. For as much as he encouraged her, she knew he withheld a part of himself, and her steps began to falter as her doubt overshadowed her joy. And her adventurous journey started to feel a little lopsided, not quite one sided, but also not quite right. He had led her so surely from the start, but she hesitated to make moves on her own, especially moves towards him, for she felt his desires for her weren't necessarily tied to him, but were to what he dreamed of her to be. So she began to doubt if she could really be more open and vulnerageous, if he could not or did not want her to be. So she did not voice her questions for fear he would confirm it, and she did not dare ask for more for fear he would deny her. So she was at constant war with herself, fighting echoes of the past which dictated to accept that what comes to her will always come with conditions, and with counterattacks of the present beauty of what she received from him, which made her feel so happy and almost satisfied. She struggled to communicate what she needed, and she knew her silence did not serve her or him or them and what they had. She wanted to speak and move as independently with him as she did in life, because she knew that if she did not, she would slowly start to retreat, even as her heart desired her to embrace him and what they experienced wholeheartedly. She sometimes found herself standing precariously at the door of her cage, trembling with the strong desire to return, but something held her back, a whispered promise to herself, made a long time forgotten. I am less afraid of being hurt by love than I am of being too afraid to love. That meant loving herself and willingly loving him and giving herself permission to see things played out, to cherish the gifts he brought into her life, to embrace the loving he bestowed upon her that nurtured her to grow and to lean into the bright light that he was. She also remembered her own power and strength, that she had faced much in life and learned many lessons. And if she needed to, she was strong enough to walk away from what was not meant for her and not accept what was not right for her. Yes, she wanted to go back inside, but she could not because she had outgrown her cage and could never return, for there was such a delicious life to embrace, explore, and live. And she was not ready to retreat, but she was so ready to soar higher.